5 craziest natural phenomena recorded on camera. Thinking about how the world is, at least to the little we know about, there are supposed to be more than the natural disasters we have. And yes, there are a lot of things you would never believe exist in this world. There are so many incredible and extraordinary things happening in this world, but just in certain parts. That is why we will be looking at the 5 craziest natural phenomena recorded on camera. Number 5. Cappuccino Coast. Now foams in the ocean. On the surface, tiny bubbles will form when the waves and currents stir all of this up. Sea foam is a mass of small bubbles grouped close together along the tide's edge. Algal blooms frequently result in thick sea foams. Massive amounts of decaying algal debris frequently wash ashore when large algae bloom and die offshore. Foam forms as the wave stirs up this biological waste, a one-of-a-kind display of the churning strength of water as it mixes with trash in the water to create an ocean. Foam occurred in 2007 due to unusual coastal circumstances at Yamba, northern New South Wales, Australia. Because the frothy ocean mixture resembled the foam on top of a cappuccino, the phenomenon along the Australian shoreline became known as the Cappuccino Coast. Foam engulfed the entire Cappuccino Coast, including the lifeguard station and half of the beach structures. The ocean foam was light and manageable for beachgoers to control, although being slightly damaging to property. When you see foams on the beach, try to steer clear and enjoy your stay without entering the ocean, as they are really harmful. Number 4. Earthquake. Earthquakes are extremely scary and dangerous. I feel so bad for these people, and I hope no one was seriously hurt or injured. I hope children aren't here. Oh my goodness. The Central Weather Bureau said that a significant earthquake occurred off the coast of eastern Taiwan on Monday, January 3rd evening. The capital, Taipei, felt the shaking, but there were no immediate reports of damage. According to the Weather Service, the earthquake had a magnitude of 6.0 and occurred at a relatively shallow depth of 19 kilometers. The magnitude was higher according to the United States Geological Survey at 6.2. 56 kilometers east of the coastal city of Hualien was where the epicenter was located. According to the weather agency, there have been no recent reports of damage. When the tremor struck at 5:46 p.m. during rush hour in Taipei, an AFP correspondent there reported that buildings violently swayed. The shaking lasted for a good 20 seconds with the ground moving left and right, the reporter said. Additionally, because Taiwan is located close to the meeting point of 2 tectonic plates, earthquakes frequently strike the island. Number 3. Burning the methane on lakes. What if it engulfs in his face? People can be extremely daring. What is he trying to do? As he lighted it, the white surface was disappearing. The gas bubbles to the surface and enters the atmosphere throughout the summer. Therefore, when you stab the frozen surface, pockets of the gas are released, which you may then light up. The effect may appear to be a simple party trick, but there's more to it than meets the eye. Methane is a powerful greenhouse gas in addition to being highly combustible. 25 times more effective than carbon dioxide at retaining heat. And in Siberia and Alaska, these methane-filled lakes are appearing everywhere. Siberia recorded 200 new thermokarst lakes alone in 2017. Actually, they are remains from the last ice age. These places were once covered in ice and frozen earth about 11,000 years ago. These frozen subsurface strata are now referred to as permafrost. The permafrost is thawing for the first time in thousands of years, but it's not the permafrost itself that's the issue. It's rising global temperatures. Alaska's permafrost has warmed by 1.5 degrees Celsius since the 1980s. Compared to how much it warmed between 1880 and 1980, almost twice as much. Additionally, as permafrost permafrost thaws, the ground above it becomes weaker, which has the potential to destroy roads, weaken building foundations, and even split trees in half. It also scatters a feast of long-dead flora and animals on the lake bottom. Number 2. The Arvazine gas crater. This looks so much like a scene from a superhero movie where superhuman land on Earth naked surrounded by fire. The only difference is that there is no one in the middle of this. So what is going on? About 70% of Turkmenistan is covered by the Karakum Desert, a vast area of sand dunes that have been scorched by the sun. You could spend days wandering through these parched badlands of 350,000 square kilometers and never see anything but the endless crest and valleys of the Karakum's arid wilderness. However, if you travel to the north-central plain of the desert, you can come across a truly bizarre sight, the Darvaza crater, a molten gas pit known as the Gates of Hell that has been spouting fire for decades. According to legend, Soviet geologists struck a pocket of natural gas in 1971 while drilling for oil in the desert. 3 sizable sinkholes were created as a result of the Earth's collapse. Geologists allegedly set one of them on fire, expecting it would burn out in a matter of weeks to stop the methane from leaking into the atmosphere. However, during the first mission to examine the crater's depths in 2013, led by Canadian explorer George Kourounis, he learned that no one genuinely knows how this ferocious inferno came to be. The gaping 69 meters wide by 30 meters deep crater reportedly formed in the 1960s, but wasn't illuminated until the 1980s, according to local Turkmen geologists. But because gas and oil were coveted commodities in Turkmenistan under Soviet authority, it seems that any information about the crater's genesis is now secret and classified. Number 1. Huayantang tidal bore. They saw the tide moving as strong and still decided to watch. I hope they are all right though. Tens of thousands of people gather on the banks of the Kayantang River every year on the 18th day of the 8th lunar month to witness the greatest tidal bore in the world, an annual marvel of nature. Locals refer to this tidal bore of the Kayantang River as the Silver Dragon. The water can flow up to a height of 9 meters, which is nearly as high as a 3-story home, and the tides can surge into the river mouth at a pace of 40 kilometers per hour. The force that generates tides as a result of the interaction of the gravitational pulls of the Earth. The sun and the moon are nearly in line on the 18th day of the 8th lunar month, which causes the tide-generating force to reach its peak. The horn-shaped estuary of the river and the rising riverbed aid in reducing the rate at which the tides rise. The waves that follow push against those that precede them to create unique natural phenomena. For a very long time, watching the tidal base has been a well-liked tourist and cultural activity. The Tang Dynasty in China is when the Kayantang River's tides are first mentioned in writing. For a glimpse of the natural wonder, travelers from across the nation travel to Haining in the Zhejiang province of eastern China, which is the best viewing location. The best viewing occurs close to the customary Mid-Autumn Festival, which makes Zhejiang a great destination to visit during the holiday. Well, it is good to celebrate your festivals, but please do it safely, not jumping into water that can carry you out of your mother's land. This is all on the 5 craziest natural phenomena caught on camera. Let us know the clip you found to be the most interesting, and I hope you also go to see the new places you wish to explore.